Ooh, it's got a condom on it. Right, well, I'm doing a Massey update. Ooh, look at all the dust on that lens. Oh, so dusty. Sorry. When you get the light, sometimes you get these lines that you can see it there. I have got a different camera coming because there's a lot of dust in this lens. Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm doing a Massey update. The Massey's in bits in this very dark garage, but we'll have a look. So, you might remember I had a load of parts delivered from Agriline, and they have actually gone in there. Right, so I've got this chap, Roger his name is. He don't want to be on camera, which is fine, and he's a brilliant guy because he's so thorough. And what he's been doing is he's basically going through the tractor for me, because I haven't got the ability, and he's trying to sort out all the problems, all the little niggly bits, the leaks, other things which I'll talk about in a minute. So what he did, he basically started by doing the wheels and the what do you call it, the hubs or whatever, the seals on there, they were leaking, so he sorted that out. Then he split the tractor in half. Now he split it there, that was split in half, and you could look inside and you replace these seals, and at the same time he found that flipping cast in there, look, damaged, the old one had a chunk out of it which wasn't any good. So I had two new bits there fitted, and now he's just starting to work through the leaks on here, and I had a chat with him the other day. He turns up every now and then. He's 72, fair play to him, he's still working, but he does it sort of at his own pace, which totally suits me on this, because his pace is still quicker than I could ever do it. So what we did, he did. He took the sump off. There we go, look. There's the sump. And you can, for those who don't see these things apart, he's actually in here underneath working on this. Don't ask me what all these bits are because it's not really my thing. Some coggy things. Right, so he's had all that apart. Now there was a strainer thing in there. I think he's taken it with him. The pipe came down. It must be like an oil return pipe or something. There it is. That pipe there. Those who are into mechanics know what I'm on about. It was like a colander, upturned colander. When he got this off. Sorry, my phone's beeping. When he got that off, that colander thing was all bent, which is someone had put it together not quite right. So he's taken it with him. Actually, he said he's going to take it off and try and see if he can straighten it out, because I think I can buy a new one, but he reckons he can straighten that out. So that's fine. He's doing that. He's also, I think he's got a pipe here that's broken, and he said that's going to have to be replaced. I think he broke that himself, that he said, to be fair, but that's just, you know, it's old. Yeah, there it is. Look, there's the bit off there. Let's put that there. I think that's snapped off there. So I need a new pipe there, which I will get. So he's sorting out the seals there, but so the other thing as well, he did notice when he took the radiator, looked at the radiator, it didn't have a cowling. So I bought a new cowling. This is the new cowling. So that goes, it's somewhere like that. So the fan will go in the middle, and it's like a guard. You can see there, the fan will go around, but it's a guard to stop anyone sticking any fingers in it or anything like that. I got that off the internet. That was that bit of cowling there was about 70 quid, but it's steel. I found there was cheaper ones, about 35 quid, but they were fiberglass, and I thought, I don't want to go fiberglass, I want to go metal because there's resilience with metal, but also if it ever breaks, as someone else said, if it breaks, they'll splinter and go into the radiator and burst the radiator. So I thought it's better off spending the money and getting the steel one. So that's going on later. He did say that he said this interesting thing. It's got, once you get the cover off, you see it's got all these different coloured bits on it. That's a blue bit. And then there's various different shades. There's a green there. That looks new. That's a red casting. But this, why is that green? Don't know what's happened there. And then also this bluey green there. So some of those bits have come off a different tractor, I think. I don't think they've come off a Massey. If anyone knows what those bits are from, why are they that colour? Is that an original Massey colour, or is that someone got some bits from somewhere else? Not quite sure. But the one major thing he discovered, which was really useful, so back in the summer when I drove it, there was a bit of a clonk on the front, and I didn't pay much attention. And I came in here the other day with him, and I said, oh, you know, is there anything else you want to look at? And he goes, well, I think I'll take the front off. So we got the, here we go, we got the front off here, completely off. The front axle. Use the right words, I guess it's the front axle. So there's the pin that holds it on, right? And that it's like a pivot pin, so obviously that pivots on it. And he thought that might be worn, but actually it's not really worn. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but nothing horrific. But what he did discover, one of the bushes is missing. So there's a bush on this side. Can you see that? Just goes inside there. Look, it sort of fits in. But for some reason, this one on this side is missing. No bush. So that pin in there, if I can get it back in, look, that's not good, is it? I ain't meant to do that. That's rubbish. So, someone's had this apart at some point, because there's no way that bush has disintegrated on its own accord and just gone to somewhere. I think someone's had this apart. Maybe when they worked on the engine with those parts. Had that apart, not put it back together the right way. Left the bush off. Now what on earth were they thinking with that? Was that a quick bodge? Someone thought they could get away with murder? So I've got to get those bits. So at the moment I'm on another shopping list. I think I've got to get that bush. There's two of them. They're only about £3.50 each. The pipe there, the fuel. I think that's the fuel pipe. Someone tell me. I think that's the fuel pipe. I've got to get another one. I don't know how much that is. Probably not too much. He's got the gaskets. He's going through the gaskets. Look, he's got all the gaskets here, and it's just a case of putting the right ones in when you need them. So that's up to him, isn't it, when he puts those on? So it's getting there. It's getting there in time for hopefully the tractor run I'm aiming to do in May. Oh, there's something else. He said the clutch was quite new. Generally speaking, what it seems to me is that someone has had a bit of a go at this tractor. We worked it out. It left here 20 odd years ago, 22 years ago. It was in Trade It, bought by the chap down in near, where was it? Melksham, near Melksham. He's had it at some point. He's had some work done on it. I know he's had the brakes done because I got an invoice for that. But at some point, I think it's been split. The clutch has been changed because it's probably not it's certainly not the clutch that left here. But also some other work's been done, various bits and pieces, and the front thing's been off there as well. So I sort of like someone's had quite a bit of done. It's had quite a bit done to it, and bits have gone missing. Like, I mean, that's a new radiator, fairly new radiator anyway. No cowling. Now the cowling must have been on there originally, but when that was put back together, they didn't put the cowling back, which goes on there, which is strange, isn't it? Because you'd think you would, if you had that in your workshop lying around, you'd know what that is and think, what the hell, I better put that back. Likewise, like I said before, there was no guard on the dynamo, which I've got now, got an Agriline one. And that's a mystery as well. That don't know how that ended up missing. The only other thing as well is he took this block off the front. Yeah, because that's the bit that goes into. And he said, are you going to take the bit off which is to do with the loader? That is where the grille goes on the front. There's a grille that goes over the front of the tractor and protects it, and they slot into there. I remember when he used to do it. And I was umming and ahhing, it's only a few bolts, I was umming and ahhing to take it off. But I'm thinking of leaving it now, because I'm thinking, actually, do you know what, that's a little bit of the tractor's history. And I could take that off any time. It's only, I think it's 5 bolts at the bottom. Look. There, look. It's only 5 bolts. Possibly it bolts through. No, it's just 5 bolts. So it's 5 bolts to undo that. And I'm thinking now, actually, I might keep that on there for now, just because it's a little nod to its history as a loader tractor, and I don't ever think I'll put the loader back on it, but you know, nice to have that maybe on the front just as a thing. The other dilemma now I've got is I'm not quite sure how much to paint. I'm going to get a bit more cleaned off, I think, but how much do I want to paint in the engine? I want to paint some of it, but do I really want to paint all of it? Probably not. I should probably do a certain amount and then just leave it, because I've got to paint that bit because it's the wrong shade of grey. But how far do I go around here? Anyway, I'm going to get Reg to steam clean it again, I think. I probably ought to paint that before I put the put that back on. And this needs steam cleaning. Look, that's grotty as well. Obviously when we steam cleaned it the first time, we didn't take the bonnet off, and this is all grotty underneath. Right, anyway, that's a quick update. I will sort out an order and get me bits and pieces here, but we're getting there, stick with me. See us on our first charity tractor run. Alright, crack on. Okay, as if by magic, the Agriline parts have arrived. So I've got a nice big box here, and it is the parts for the tractor. So if I get that, okay, I'm going nice, so I'm using my Land Rover keys to open it. Let's have a look, see what we got here. I have ordered some extra goodies as well as the other little bits I showed you the other day. I've ordered some more parts that I think I need. We'll see what we got here. Right, there we go. There's oh blimey, look at their recycled packaging. I wonder what they've got in here. Look, this is interesting. What's that one? Bakery. This is like a jigsaw, isn't it? Look at that. And this, do you know what this reminds me of? This is quite funny. Just opening this, right? Do you remember the lucky dips you used to have at school, where you go in and you try and see what you can find, and you can win a bag of sweets or something like that? So we've got a lucky dip, Agriline lucky dip here coming out. Oh, what we got in here? We have a big bag. Agriline over. Ooh, I got some Agriline overalls. They sent me some Agriline overalls. Right. What else have we got in here? And we have the lucky dip. That's kit. Right. And what we got? That's heavy. That's got to be the parts. Got some over. I'm worried I forget what you ordered, don't you? Is there anything else in here? That might be it. I can't remember. Some of the parts are quite small. Right, let's just put this down. It's all sorts. That is the fuel service kit in there. I remember that. So let me just put this down a sec, and I'll open it and we'll have a proper look at what I got. So this is the fuel service kit. We've got a fuel filter, secondary fuel filter in there, and then there's the oil filter. So they go on the, let me just show you that. So this tractor hasn't got a screw on. It's not got a screw on the normal old modern fuel filter. Sorry, oil filter. It's in there. Now you can get conversion kits that you can screw on the new modern ones that are all in one, but I quite like being original. So you have to unbolt that and put a filter in there. Then there's two fuel filters here, which are there. Okay, so that's in there. Let me just have a look. There actually, I just remembered some fuel pipes, and they must be at the bottom of here somewhere, perhaps. Or maybe they're not, and they're coming on a separate order. Let me have a look. All right, well, I'll open this up first anyway and see what we got. I'll put this down again. There we go, in the Agriline Lucky Dip. Their fuel pipes are actually there, look. There they are, there's one. It's all in here. Two. There's two. Then there's these bolt things. And there we go, pads. And look, these are there we go, the two bushes that go, they sit just down there. And what else is, I've forgotten what I ordered. PTO cap, there we go, modern PTO cap. Well, it's not modern, it's the same as the old one, but mine is absolutely knackered. Let me just, try and do this one-handed. Look, so mine, let's see if we can have a look around the back. There's the one, a new replacement. Mine, that's got that bit missing there, and it's sort of got a hole, which isn't ideal. Oh, it's very difficult to get in the back of here. Right, and it's quite dark. I don't know whether you can see this all right. Might have to have a better look when I do it in the summer, when I get it out of the shed. Can you see the PTO? I don't know whether you can see that. It's got a hole, but something's happened to it. Oh, it's quite hard to see, isn't it? Right, we're glad when this tractor's back together and get it out. So my original PTO has got that bit in, it's got a hole in the middle of that, so not very good, and get dirt and stuff in on it, so that's good. So I got a new one of those, and the very last thing I've got in here is a trunnion pin, which is, do you know what a trunnion pin is? It's one of these. Ooh, it's got a condom on it. Better not take condoms off your teeth. Not my forte anyway. Right, so I've got this trunnion pin. Now, let me see if I can get the other one, the old one. Let me just put that down. Right. Now, I did debate whether to replace this or not, but it has got wear on it. Can you see the wear on it? It has got quite a bit of wear on it, actually, hasn't it? And I'm sure when I put that in with the bushes, it wouldn't be too bad. But it was like one of these things of, I've got the thing apart. If I'm going to have it gone to the trouble of getting it, or haven't, they've got the guy who got to the trouble of taking it apart, I might as well do a proper job and put a brand new one of these in, because look at that, that's perfect, isn't it? Whereas this old one, there's always going to be, that's never going to be snug, is it? So I think it was worth replacing. So anyway, that's all my AgriLine parts. I will be wearing, nice of them to give me a pair of overalls in there. I am actually going to see their factory, by the way. Stay tuned for another tour. We're going to the AgriLine factory, or not the factory, the warehouse. We're going to go and see the guys because they've invited me up because they've seen my project. They're helping me with this. We're going to go and see them in their warehouse some point in the future. But in the meantime, I'm cracking on with this, or the guy, I can say me, it's the other guy's cracking on. I've got it on a trickle charge at the moment, look. I've got a solar panel. Oops, my battery went flat then, so I've just recapping on this. So yeah, so there's my solar panel. We'll have a quick look outside in a minute. And I'm running it to the battery here. It's nice, it's not an old battery I think, but I just want to keep that topped up for now. While I can, until I actually get to use the tractor. There's my Massey spanner there. Look, I found that in the hay barn. It's pretty worn out. Do you remember there was that collector bloke up at the Tractor World, wasn't it? I wonder if he'd like that one. Look at that. My God. I've got a Fergie spanner at home, but look at that. Add to his 600 he had. Right, so anyway, it's chugging away there with a little bit of solar. But yeah, this is about it now. I'll just show you around the side here, look. There's the solar panel, just in the window there. So I don't know how much current that puts into the battery, but at least it's doing something. Better than nothing, isn't it? Right, we're done on this. Still aiming for my tractor run in May. Hopefully I can get this up and running by then. But we got the pile of AgriLine parts here, all stashed ready to go back on. Not too much to put back together. My main thing will be probably just a bit of paint. I don't know, I think I said before, not sure how much I'm going to paint of this. How far do you go? Difficult, isn't it? But looking forward to seeing this beauty on the road again in a bit better shape than before. Right, further updates when I get something to update you on. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you AgriLine for the bits, and crack on everyone. We're going to be tractor running in May. Crack on.